called my daughter's boyfriend Pal. His response was something that I'll never forget. My daughter's been dating Troy for a few months now, and I really like him. He's smart, honest, and treats my daughter like gold. He comes from a broken family, and my daughter has asked me not to mention anything about it. I respect her wishes and wouldn't want to rock the boat. One night, my daughter was upstairs getting ready, and Troy came over early while I was preparing dinner. He asked me if there was anything he could do to help, and I said, sure, you can cut up some vegetables. He stood there completely confused, so I gave him a knife, a cutting board, and a few tomatoes. But he held the knife as if he'd never held one before, and studied the tomato trying to figure out a way to cut it, but didn't have a clue. I asked, have you ever done any cooking? No, ma'am. No one ever showed me how to do it. So for the next 20 minutes or so, I showed him some basics, and he seemed really excited. I said, great job, Pal. When I said the word pal, it was as if someone punched him in the heart. His face dropped. He was hit with what looked to be a profound sadness. He got eerily quiet and just walked out without saying a word. My daughter came down and asked what had happened, and I told her. She got annoyed with me and accused me of saying something out of line. I said, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to hurt his feelings. I'm not even sure what I said. My daughter tried calling him several times, and he ignored her calls and texts. That went on for about 3 days, and my daughter didn't know if this meant that they were breaking up or what. I was at a total loss and could see that my daughter was quietly blaming me. I felt terrible even though I had no idea what I had done. My daughter was crushed. She would barely eat any dinner and keep checking her socials to see if Troy had posted or find any sign of life from him. She called his best friend, and he told her that he hadn't talked to him either. And it was weird because he also never showed up to school. I thought about going over to his apartment to find out what happened, but my daughter convinced me otherwise. She said that he lived alone in a one-bedroom in a rough part of town, and that he hadn't ever let her in his place before. She thought it was because he was embarrassed by it. I asked her what she knew about his family, and she said, all Troy told me was that everything was broken. That was all he ever said. Troy works at a local surf shop, so I went by to see if I could make it look like I just happened to be walking by and run into him. A few nights later, I saw him leaving work, and I walked past him, tried to make eye contact, and he walked right past me as if I didn't exist. It was so weird. I could see him acknowledge me out of the corner of his eye, and he still pretended not to know me. I never told my daughter that I did that, but I was sad for her and hated seeing her in so much heartbreak. After that, I decided to let it go. To my surprise, a week later, Troy came over and addressed my daughter and I. He said, I am so sorry that I've been MIA. To be honest, I was hit with so much sadness that I couldn't even talk. I missed school and some work. The truth is, the last thing my mom ever said to me was, great job, Pal. She said that before she had a heart attack and passed away. I was with her when it happened. She was my best friend in the world and was the only one that would talk to me and teach me things. And when you said it to me, it just hit me that I'd never see or talk to her again. I held back tears as my daughter and I hugged him as he cried. Troy comes over every Sunday night and helps me cook dinner. I tell him that he's doing a great job, and even though I know I'll never replace his mother, I can at least give him a home-cooked meal and as much love and support as he needs.